It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pesto Pod. My name is Julia Leahy. You might know me on TikTok as @morepesto, Today, you can see this is a very different episode of the Pesto Pod. If you are listening, I strongly suggest you switch to video and get a gander of what we're looking at here, because we are not in our studio today. Today, I am at the beautiful, the wonderful Mystic Aquarium in Mystic, Connecticut, where they have so graciously invited me to haul my little arse over here to get a look at some creatures and critters. Before I introduce you to my friend sitting here to my left, I do want to say the Pesto merch is available in the merch shop. Strongly suggest you head on over there because what a great holiday gift, and 'tis the season. But this is my friend Claire, who works here at the Mystic Aquarium, and she is joined by a little friend slash statement piece.
Oh yeah, my casual wear every day.
Claire, introduce yourself. Tell us about you and what you do here.
Absolutely. So hi, like she said, I'm Claire. I am an aquarist here at Mystic Aquarium. So basically that means that I take care of all of the fish and amphibians and reptiles that live here. Specifically, I am on the herps team, so I take care of all of our reptile and amphibian friends, like Pepper here, my statement piece. And yeah, I work around this aquarium. I've been here about 8 months, and I really love what I do.
Yes. Wait, introduce Pepper, though, too.
Oh, absolutely. So this is Pepper.
Wow,
Clearly.
Politically charged.
She has so much to say. Pepper is a prehensile-tailed skink. She is one of our ambassador animals, so we use her in programs. We'll bring her out during night events, and she is an educational animal so that we can introduce people to animals that they wouldn't typically see while they are out and about in nature. So Pepper is from the Solomon Islands in Australia, or just off the coast of Australia. So she's a really unique species that you wouldn't see every day.
Yeah, I can't say that I've encountered Pepper in my spice garden at home. Yeah, she's beautiful. May I?
Absolutely.
A two-finger touch?
A two-finger touch.
Where do you recommend I aim?
Anywhere along her back, or you can feel that prehensile tail.
The
Super
prehensile?
Yeah.
Get out of town. So this is actually my second time coming to Mystic, like being invited to Mystic Aquarium. And the first time that I came here, I pet Pepper. So Pepper and I literally have a history.
Oh yeah, they're friends. They go way back.
We literally go way back. In fact, she came out and she was like, hey.
Absolutely.
Hey, girl.
She popped her head out and she's like, "Hey, I know you."
So I have so many questions.
Oh, bring it on.
Okay, sick. So can I ask like how you? Because I'm gonna be so real, and I have a childhood friend over here in the corner who has joined me today, and she can attest to this. When I was a kid, I told everyone I was gonna be a marine biologist because I'm an aquarium kid in my heart,
I did
soul,
the same
and
thing.
yes, except you did it, and I say the F word on the internet, but I like to think we're cut from the same cloth.
I think we are.
I think we are. So what was your path to getting this job? You said that you had some experience with the Baltimore Aquarium.
I do, absolutely. So I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. That felt weird to pronounce every single syllable. Normally I say Balmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what the locals say?
It's what do I think the locals say?
Yeah.
You know, I'm from the suburbs.
Okay.
It counts.
You know, we try.
We try. But yeah, so I grew up right outside of the city. I grew up sailing. I grew up being on the Chesapeake Bay. So being on the water was basically like second nature to me.
Yes.
And when I was in high school, I started getting involved in being an exhibit guide. So being on the outside of the exhibits, and I would stand there and I'd say, "Look at these cool fish." And I'd get really excited to tell people all about the cool fish that were in the aquarium. And then as I got into college and I realized that I really liked telling people about these fish, I was like, what if I study them? What if I get interested like into the background, into their anatomy, everything that involves caring for them? And then I got an internship with the Baltimore Aquarium.
Slay.
Yeah. And then I progressed on and I loved it so much that I stayed on volunteering as an aquarist. So the same position that I hold here, just in a volunteer status down there in Maryland. And then the last few years I worked in sea turtle rehab, and then I got hired here in April, and I have been here since.
Sea turtle rehab at Baltimore?
No, sea turtle rehab down in Georgia.
Get out of town. Have you held a baby turtle in your hand?
I have held a baby turtle, and not just a baby sea turtle. I've held a baby slider. I've held a baby gopher tortoise. I've had lots of little baby turtles.
Fortune favors the brave. That is
Thank you so much.
That is iconic and my dream come true.
It was pretty great.
And now you're here and you're a herp gal.
I'm a herp gal.
Why is it called herp, like herpes? Have you ever thought of that?
I have thought of that.
Okay.
A lot of people have, surprisingly. It's mainly for the large classification of herpetofauna is what reptiles are called. I know, big word.
No, use those words. We need those words.
Absolutely. But that's a big classification for what reptiles and other species like them are. So that's why we kind of classified our team within my department as the herp team.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is so. Look at her just chilling. Her.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Her, right?
Yeah.
Gendered correctly.
Gendered correctly.
Dude, she's
asleep.
Chilling.
This left eyeball is closed. I can't.
Okay, the right one is open. I can report.
Okay, so sometimes she'll do this if she's relaxed. She'll have one eye open just to watch around.
Yeah,
but
she
got
one eye open.
One eye open all the time.
Yeah, you got to make sure.
But she's chilling.
Oh my god, I love her. Question about her. Do you think she like knows you?
I'd like to think that she knows us as caretakers. It's something with our job specifically. We can never anthropomorphize. We can't give emotions to animals, but we can watch their behaviors. So when we notice that they will willingly engage with us, then that's something that we like to think that they might enjoy what behaviors we ask of them. So
wait, this is interesting. You don't give them emotions?
We try not to.
Wow, that's so interesting. I feel like that's the first thing I do when I like pass see a dog on the street.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
So
hey, little happy little guy.
Something we definitely say like, oh yeah, they might enjoy this or not, but it's something obviously we don't live in their brains. We don't try to give them an emotion, but we do ask certain behaviors, and when they do engage with us, it's just as rewarding as if we were saying, oh yeah, she's a super happy kid.
Yeah, right? I mean, like, I feel like you're just trying to like replicate what their natural experience would be as much as possible, right? Am I wrong?
As much as possible, yeah. So
yes.
We'll ask
except
behaviors.
This right now.
Well, yeah. I don't know that she'd be sleeping
on
someone's chest
no.
as a natural lizard on the Solomon Islands, like a little kitten. But yeah, we ask behaviors of them that mimic natural behaviors, so that we try to give them as unique and basically as comfortable life as we can while they're engaged with us as educational animals, while they engage with people. So that way they can see as close to what they would get.
Yeah. What does Pepper eat?
Pepper is what we call a herbivore.
I know all about that.
Oh, yeah?
Veggies.
Oh, yeah.
Greens.
Yep.
Keep going.
Can you guess her favorite? She's a fruit girl.
Melon.
No.
Okay, well,
you tried.
I had like a one
It was a good shot. She is a big strawberry fan.
Oh.
So strawberries are big, yummy for her.
I've seen the viral YouTube video, that little tiny turtle trying to eat a strawberry.
Yeah.
Is that what that resembles?
Very similar.
Yes.
Except she's got a lot bigger mouth, so she gets big old bites.
So when they're in the Solomon Islands chilling in their natural hab, what are they chomping on?
Mostly
berries?
just like leaves and probably other fruits around the area. So for her to replicate that, we give them salads. So we'll replicate with dandelion greens, sometimes arugula that we get from the supermarkets.
Oh my God, fancy.
I know. They're fancy lizards here. And then also Pepper loves peppers.
Oh my God, how perfect.
I know,
Is that
right?
why the namesake?
I believe her namesake came from her coloration. Because her counterpart that lives over on the other side of this building is named Blue because he's blue.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you'd say his name is Salt.
Oh, that would be so good.
I know. You might want to contact the higher ups and maybe
right.
get them on that.
Excellent deal.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But we've got a lot of colors here.
I'm such an animal lover, and I told this story on TikTok, but I thought maybe you'd like to hear it.
Oh,
I really wanted a pet. My roommates all just like told me they don't think I'm mentally and physically capable of caring for a pet, which is a lie. I'm literally a rover dog sitter, so I don't know where they got that from.
Yeah, what the heck? You could do it.
But so you were here for this. I decided a pet that would suit me because it doesn't really have a brain is a snail. Because I said, surely I can care for a snail. This is crazy. So I went to my friend here. I went to her yard, found a snail, put it in a jar. This jar, big fat jar. This was as close to nature. I did some research. I got like substrate. Mm-hmm. You know all about substrate?
Oh, I know.
I got cuddle bone for their calcium.
Wow.
I was like literally, I was on, you don't even know. You don't understand. I was speaking to you as if this isn't your full-time job.
That's some high quality care.
I know. I'm basically a herpetologist.
Pretty close. Oh, good morning.
So I had my little jar, and then we found another snail, and I was like, surely friendship and companionship makes so much sense. So I put them together. They multiplied like crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like snails.
It was literally like I was just hosting a snail brothel in my jar. And thus there were a bajillion snails, and I made the heavy-hearted decision that I should probably let them go because I contributed to their entire population boost.
I had a fish tank as a kid. I had one snail that made it in there when I got the fish. By the end of it, I had like 90.
Pretty sure they might like do they reproduce on their own?
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Oh, dude.
So
Maybe
they can do
maybe
it.
I didn't even host a brothel.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just freaky on their own.
They can be.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, it took such a toll on me, and I was like, maybe I should take a break from the pet industry. Do you have any pets of your own?
I have one that I have been gifted from my brother.
Okay.
I have a bearded dragon at home.
No way. Those are pretty. Those show some personality.
They show some personality. I have never been judged harder than I have by my own lizard. He sits in his little enclosure and he just stares at me all day long.
What's his name?
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah.
Judgy Joey.
Judgy Joey, and he is a 17-year-old man at this point. A
Oh my
17-year-old
God.
lizard.
Dude, he's past the age of.
Yeah.
He can like vote somewhere.
He can almost vote. He's at the point where he's almost 18, and
He's out of the house.
yeah, he should be.
He's
But
going to his local community college.
he's pretty great.
Joey. Shout out to Joey.
She woke
What
up.
what else should I even ask you about this little guy? Look at her.
She's
Pepper.
7. She said, "Oh, what's happening?"
What are your favorite animals that you care for here?
Ooh, well, clearly this one right
Pep,
here.
little Pep.
Live, love, Pep. The
going
other
over
one
there.
right now, absolutely.
Hey, girl.
Go for it.
Hey.
I would say I have really enjoyed caring for the mossy frogs. They are around the corner of where we are right now.
What describe?
Absolutely. They're little frogs, and they are bumpy and green, and they are supposed to look like moss.
Oh.
Yeah. That's where they get their name from. They are from the Vietnam rainforests.
Sick.
So they typically live in like high rainforests, in flooded caves. So what I got to do when this building reopened when I first started here was I actually got to build their exhibit
Whoa.
from the ground up.
So you know about substrate.
I know about substrate just a little
She's
bit.
heard about substrate. Don't even worry.
Oh yeah. So
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's
I got
so cool.
to.
I love like on TikTok I watch a lot of satisfying videos of people
yeah.
building like aquarium scapes.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that's the vibe of.
it was the vibe.
Wow, you get paid to do that. What a dream.
It was so much fun. But yeah, I got to research a bunch about this species, and I learned that's why I know that they live in flooded caves.
Yes.
So I tried to replicate that flooded cave, and they seem
Yes.
to enjoy it because now I have 5 more mossy babies
Oh my
outside of the
gosh.
adults. So
okay,
I
so
think they
you're
like
hosting a brothel.
it. Maybe just a little bit.
You're a madam. A mossy frog madam. We might have to cut that.
That's all right.
Well, as soon as this is over, I'm going to wrap around and take a look because now you got
Absolutely.
me so curious. Just a question, since she's really aimed at your ear. If you had like a shiny earring on, do you think she'd totally go for it?
Nah.
Okay.
She's seen these earrings at least enough. I mean, in all honesty, she could, but she's seen these earrings a lot. Most times she just gets like curious about what's around, and then she'll start moving around.
Now, are they similar to snakes where they like kind of smell with their tongue?
Not really.
Okay.
These ones actually, their tongue is
Took a
more
shot
for,
in the dark.
Hey,
Failed.
You knew that snakes
No,
they
I'm an
smell
animal
with
kid.
their tongue.
You don't
got
understand.
it. Miss Ma'am, where are you going? All
Pepper,
right.
get over here. We're live.
She said, "No thanks, I'm done."
She said, "No cameras, please."
Actually, they use their tongues more for communication. So a lot of times you'll see them stick their tongues out when we hold them up to other lizard friends around
That's
our
how I communicate.
around our holding area. So we'll so we'll hold them up sometimes. Where are you going, ma'am? One moment.
She says, "Is this real leather?"
Yeah, sorry, you can't go over there. One moment, please. Yeah, she's good.
She's
Yeah,
chilling,
so
she's chilling.
a lot of times they'll have their tongues out as communication within the species where they live in the Solomon Islands. So
Sick.
yeah, that's kind of communication. I told that to a child once during a program, and he immediately stuck his tongue out to communicate with her.
Yeah, as he should. I mean,
As he should.
that was my first reaction.
Oh yeah, I asked him.
So I'm
what
glad
he
that I
told
have
her.
the same thought process as a 6-year-old boy.
Oh, it was exactly a 6-year-old boy.
I was actually going. That was some of the questions I was going to ask you next. So it's I'm assuming probably mainly children that come in here, and
Yes.
are like asking you questions
Yeah.
and stuff. Have you had any like crazy experiences? I'm sure you get like grubby hands on the glass.
Oh yeah, lots of handprints.
Ugh.
But one of my favorite things I think is most times when we're feeding, little kids will just be like plastered to the glass watching us.
Yeah, me
and
too.
like they'll follow us.
A bunch of
as
little
we-
heads, and then I'm
Oh, yeah.
like a foot above them.
But as we move around, like it's really cool to engage with these kids as we're feeding because it's again species that they won't typically interact with.
Absolutely.
And I've had parents come up to me and be like, "Thank you so much for engaging with their kids." And I'm like, "Of course, why wouldn't I? Like I love
You're the voice of the generation.
I love talking to children. Like I love engaging them. It was done for me when I was a little kid in
Yeah, and
aquariums.
look at
Probably
you.
done for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk to the ears off of the aquarium people that we interact with. So I love being able to do that as an adult now.
I actually have been scolded at my local zoo because when I was a child, I would like stand next to the exhibits and I'd be like, "Hey guys, so this is the like spotted snow leopard. I'm just some kid from the street." And I was like, "Let me educate the masses. Let me take this upon myself."
Oh,
to
absolutely.
educate."
Sometimes
Pep, girl.
she's just going wherever her heart desires.
She's
And
exploring.
sometimes that's what happens. But oh yeah, I've gone to other zoos and seen species that I work with, and I like go into educator mode. And I start to talk about that.
Do you ever
and
have
then
you ever heard someone like saying wrong information? You're like, actually, they're from the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes,
And
as you
so-
should.
And then sometimes I'm like, ooh, I am not
Not
actually
on my turf.
on my turf. I can turn my educator mode off. But it's really fun sometimes to just be like, I love this species. Like, let me tell you all about it. Will you get a little bit of word vomit from me? Absolutely.
That's what they're here for.
But, you know, that's why I walked up next to you, and now you have to hear everything I have to say.
Absolutely. I actually, you're so right. Like, this is kids, like when a kid sees something like this that they've like never seen before, like,
Yeah.
it's just like sparks the interest. It's so cool. That's the whole point of the aquarium, the industry.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
just talking out of my
Hey.
arse.
You know, that's exactly right, though.
No, yeah. What do you now about Mystic specifically?
Absolutely.
What do you think like the Mystic Aquarium has that like not a lot of other aquariums have? Not just like in like, oh well, we have this animal. Like
Mhm.
what's the
I think
You might wanna grab her.
specifically. Oh yeah, ma'am. I'm trying to talk about you here. I think here especially, I have never met such a passionate group of people.
nice.
Across all the departments that we've worked in, I've interacted with our AC, our Arctic Coast staff that works with the belugas. I've talked to the people that work with the penguins, anyone that works in other departments. And the bottom line is always like, we're here for the animals.
Yeah.
And that's such a cool thing. And then there's always that extra level here that I've found is that everyone is also really passionate about educating. So it's not just like, oh, we love the animals, but it's like we want to tell
We
people
want to tell you about it. Yeah.
and that's such a cool thing that Mystic brings with like even in, I'll be a little shout out to Mystic here, but even in our like mission statement, it's all about like inspiring people about protecting the ocean and caring for it through education, through
Yeah,
conservation.
totally.
So it's like not just the care aspect here, but there's people that go out to different missions with penguin groups. They were working in South Africa recently.
Whoa.
Someone from our beluga team went out to work in the Cook Inlet in Alaska to basically help count belugas. So there's more than just what we do at Mystic
That's so
that
cool.
happens, and I haven't experienced that in other places that I've worked.
That's so cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I didn't even think about like, so you guys are obviously like so knowledgeable about like the animals in your field and stuff, but you also kind of have to like have some other skills with like you have to be teachers a little bit.
On the underlying level, there
you guys-
is an element of teaching. Yeah,
So like in short, you guys are kind of girl bossing
absolutely,
straight into the ocean.
absolutely.
That is so cool.
You'll just see me cannonball
Yes.
right off the edge.
What do you think is like the rarest, coolest animal you guys have here?
Rarest, coolest animal.
Although I do know you guys are pretty. The beluga thing is pretty.
The belugas are
That's
definitely
not something you find at every aquarium.
not something you find at every aquarium. I believe we're one of 4 places. I think 3.
Evan, speak up.
I'm looking at Evan in our background right now, but yeah, we're one of 3 places that have belugas. Honestly, I think some of our reptiles are probably what I would say. So having Blue on exhibit over there, who's Pepper's counterpart,
Yeah.
is something that you don't typically see. I hadn't seen one until I came here of
Yeah.
a prehensile-tailed skink. So stuff like that I think would be the coolest part. And there are little things that we get to display, but it's really cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now my question also,
I'm
do
ready.
you are you on like Reptile Talk?
I've seen a few, yes.
Okay, cuz I'm on Reptile Talk.
Oh,
So, there's this rescue that I'm like
Uh-huh.
really into.
okay.
And they get like abandoned like geckos and stuff and
Uh-huh.
they nurse them back to health and I love it.
Is it in one of the Carolinas?
It might be.
I think I've seen that.
You're like,
I've seen
they
a-
work here. No.
I wish.
No,
No,
they're
I've
like,
seen a
this
lot of the
gecko
little
has a
geckos.
necrotic toe. And I'm
Yep.
like, get some APB ointment on that stat.
You could be.
I know.
You
Put
could
me
go
in. I've been telling you guys to hire me the whole time I've been here. And I haven't received a job application, so I'm a little confused.
That is not me, but hey, we'll talk to the higher ups.
I'll be checking my inbox. Yeah, I find reptiles super interesting. I don't know if I could be a reptile owner because they scare me a little unpredictable.
That's fair. I mean, to be honest, frogs scared me a little bit when I started here, and now they're one of my favorite things to work with.
There you
So
go.
they still scare me a little bit, but hey, that's just the job.
When I was a child, I picked up a frog and tried to kiss it, like Princess and the Frog style.
Did
and
it turn into a prince?
No, it jumped into my mouth. And I have since had a real aversion to amphibians.
That's
But on the
fair.
flip side, I love me like a little salamander. How
Yeah.
cute.
Absolutely. Or those newts I showed you?
Yeah, mention
adorable.
those newts. They
Oh,
were
yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Hey, Pep,
Pep,
I'm
where
going to need you to
going?
like commit to the bit and lock in.
She says, nah, I like my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these newts that I showed Julia earlier,
But
they...
don't lean back because you'll squish her.
Oh, I
Continue.
feel her. I was like shifting forward just in case. The newts that I showed you, they are called Kaiser newts, and they are found in one stream system in Iran.
That's so cool.
It's, again, one of those species that not many people are going to go to these mountains in Iran and find this singular species of newt. But we are in a place that we can show them and actually educate people about them. So, hey, you might not know this newt species existed before, but now you do, and now you can tell your
Now
friends.
I do. I'm going to tell my friends.
Absolutely.
And she said they all have these really unique patterns that are
Mhm.
similar to us with a fingerprint. They're all different, right?
Absolutely.
That's so sick. Is that how they like recognize each other?
I mean, potentially. I don't know. I'm not in their brain, but I wish I was.
I love that. I love little facts. I watch a lot of David Attenborough.
The best.
Last time I was here at Mystic, you guys like so graciously invited me to your first ever influencer event, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah. That was a party.
That was a party. So the mistake that you made, Evan, was providing open bar. Unsure why you did that because I indulged.
As you should.
Literally did not know a soul, and I was like, I'm gonna get absolutely smashed at the Mystic Aquarium, and I did.
But now we're friends, so, like, it's fine.
But now we're friends. Me and Pepper are friends.
Absolutely.
But I did ask some crazy questions to whoever was working out there with those seals.
Yeah.
I was saying some crazy stuff.
Your video afterwards, I was on
It's a
the
little
floor.
PG-13.
I was on the floor laughing, though. I
I don't
thought
know
it was
who
the best thing
it
ever.
was. I don't know if you know the employee that
I
I
don't,
literally
but-
heckled. I was like, look me in the eye. Have you ever seen them doing it? And they were like, she was like, I don't think I should say this on camera. And I was like, look me in the eye and answer me. So I apologize to everyone I offended that day.
I don't think you offended anyone, though, because you'd be surprised how many other people have also asked that.
Yeah.
So it's not just you.
I say what the people are thinking.
Absolutely. You're just their representative.
I've always said that. What else about I had questions in my mind and I'm losing them. What else about the reptile section of the Mystic Aquarium do you want us to know?
Well, there's two components. So there's the reptiles that we have on exhibit. So we've got some turtles over there. We've got spotted turtles, which are actually...
You said you wanted to see a turtle today.
Absolutely.
We're going to be
right
checking out
over
the
there.
turtles after.
We've got two of them. They're pretty cute. So that's a really cool native species. And we've got, obviously, Blue, who I've talked about.
Right.
And one of our Amazon tree boas. And then we've got a couple other...
I didn't even cross into the snake
Oh.
aspect.
The snake aspect. We've got quite a few. But then we also have our educational animals. So we have animals that live more in our backup space, but we get to take them out every so often when people come for reptile programs.
Yeah.
And that's something that's a whole nother ball game in terms of we get to introduce like that 6-year-old kid that told Pepper he loved her by sticking out a stump.
Yeah.
That was his specific words. I said, "What did you tell Pepper?" And he goes, "That I loved her."
Yes.
And I was like, that
Spread the
is
love.
absolutely precious. But those are such unique opportunities because you get people that sometimes it's bought as a gift and they don't know what they're getting into, and suddenly we bring out a snake and they're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Or we get people that are lifelong reptile enthusiasts, and I had a 70-year-old man sit with me and we talked about reptiles for like 35 minutes, and I was like, this
Yes.
is the greatest time ever.
That
He
is
told
so
me about
cool.
all of his reptiles that he had owned. I told him all about the reptiles I had brought with me, and we got to just engage in, like, I learned things from him. I hope he learned things from me. So there's two different aspects of the herp world that
is so
I think is
cool.
so fun.
That is so awesome. So you guys have like a backstage, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Is there like, because I know what is it here? Is there like a do you guys have like a breeding program for like,
Sort of.
am I making something up?
No. We're a part of a program that's called SSPs, or Species Survival Programs.
Okay, cool.
So more endangered animals or animals that are pretty specific. So like Pepper here,
Yeah,
they
want to keep those numbers up.
We keep the numbers up, but it's also throughout all of the zoos and aquariums that are in what's called AZA, or Association of Zoos and Aquariums. They are able to create genetically sound populations throughout all of the zoos and aquariums that have said species, so that we're not taking species from wild.
Yeah.
And also, if we are able to, we're able to stabilize wild populations and
I was
reintroduce
gonna
animals
ask,
back in.
you guys release animals ever?
We don't here as part of like our main collection. We obviously have our rehab team that works with the seals that rescue, and
that's
also
right. I did
the
talk
sea
about
turtles.
when I was heckling. I learned that.
Yeah. So we have rescue seals and sea turtles that we're able to release, but these are more, we'll send the animals will actually transfer zoos and aquariums in order to be
they're probably
to create new populations. Sometimes they'll get released, sometimes they'll go to another facility, but it's a really cool thing to be a part of for the species survival plan, so that we know that we're helping species for the future.
Yeah, that's so cool. There's probably also an aspect of like, if they're born in captivity, like they have to stay in captivity, probably, right?
It's definitely more beneficial. A lot of times they'll imprint, or depending on how long they've been in human care, it's not obviously the same as if we were just to be like, all right, go live in a tree for the rest of your life.
Go, Pepper.
Good luck.
And she doesn't get her salad every day.
And
I'd
she
be
wouldn't get her
pissed.
salad. She'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Where's my arugula?
Right. She's asking that now.
She's like, what am I doing here?
My final question.
Absolutely.
And you can say no. After this, do we think I could get a photo with Pepper?
Absolutely.
Like with me holding her? Is that allowed?
I think you could hold her tail.
Oh, man. Fine. You know what? Beggars can't be choosers out here in these streets.
Pepper.
Dude, look at her. She's talking. She's like,
I was
please
say,
let
she
her
wants
hold
to
me.
say stuff.
She's going to your ear. She's going to whisper
going
to
for
you.
my hip. Hi.
Pepper. Pepper's been a lovely guest on the Pesto Pod.
Absolutely.
Claire, you've been a lovely guest
Julia,
on the Pesto Pod.
you've been a great host. I've loved this.
This is definitely the highlight of my month.
I'm so glad.
Is getting to go to an aquarium for free.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all I've ever
Of
wanted in
course.
this lifetime.
Of course. We're happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me and being the spokesperson for this really, really sick aquarium that is obviously doing some really good work. Thank you, Pepper, for, speaking out against injustice. If you have anything to add. She thought about it.
She really did.
She's a little tongue-tied at the moment.
But she had some good thoughts working in the little brain.
But she totally, the wheels are turning. I don't know if anyone's home, but the wheels are turning.
The lights are on.
The lights are on.
No one might be home,
though. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to share about why my viewers should come to Mystic Aquarium?
Well, it's just a really awesome place to work. It's a really awesome place to come visit. You get to see a lot of animals that you might not see in your everyday life, and I hope you guys come by soon.
At the very least, come to say hi to Pep.
Absolutely, come say hi to Pepper.
Pepper and Pesto go well together.
They really
me
do.
thinks.
They really do.
Thank
It's
you
meant
guys so much for having me at the aquarium. This has been a joy and a pleasure. Go out there and I don't know, learn about some reptiles, watch some Planet Earth, and that's all I got. That's a wrap. Woo-hoo.
That's a wrap.
Yes.
It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.